So, another crazy idea. This one's going to be pretty radical, guys, so don't take this one too seriously. My medical knowledge is not enough to consider this feasible or viable or even, I guess, even a theory, but I'm still going to throw it out there. So, here we go. I always, when I was young, I had the idea of autoimmune therapy or using your own immune system to treat cancer. Of course, when I was young, I tried to write a college, like in elementary school. I literally submitted it to a college, but of course, it was not a paper by any means. And of course, now I know understand why we have the issues that we do with that recognition. Case in point, one vertebrae in the back for cancer can have like 23 different markers for the same different cancer on just that one vertebrae, and each vertebrae might have different markers, and that's probably a very light estimate. So, there's a lot of issues with that. And from my understanding over the years with autoimmune therapy, using artificially engineering like T cells to attack cancer in us, was that usually there was a high rate of um, rejection by the patient, and like almost at a 60% rate. So if you can't crack 50, a lot of people won't consider that very viable. So I always had the idea once I was in college that I came across something known as a progenitor cell, a self-replicating multipotent stem cell that exists inside your bone marrow that is responsible for the production of all leukocytes, or your blood cells, white blood cells, in your body. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the bone marrow, your immune system doesn't really can't get in, which is why if you have issues in there, it's really bad. But anyway, let's get back on track. So the idea was to take a progenitor cell, because my idea is that in our steps we're missing. Currently, our technology, we're we don't have the ability to see what we're missing in that artificial engineering of the T cell. So my hope is that by hijacking a progenitor cell, that maybe will naturally find the kind of something we're missing. Now, of course, this is very aggressive. It's bone marrow transplant, essentially, very aggressive. And if it does fail, it could be bad. So there does need to be some type of previous animal study, or I mean, that's not really ethical either. But non-human trials before it can ever be even considered feasible. But it was just a general idea I always thought about in my physiology and anatomy class that I never got to speak to my professor about. Maybe someone with some better knowledge. Dr. Mike, where you at?